So, as you likely know, there's been a Murder Drones fan episode that came out fairly recently that has gained popularity called Intermission, made by this person that I cannot pronounce the name of, unfortunately. Intermission, like I said, is a fan-made animatic episode that takes place before episode 4 and 5, and it's really something we needed instead of what we got. In the words of Yagster,
the canon show loses value by this not being real.
I'm not super mad at Liam or Glitch, but Yagster speaks the truth here. Also, I know I technically already did a review, but that was just a short review, and my brain wasn't exactly braining. This video, however, I'm mainly focusing on V. Now let's just start with an entire recap of V's role in the canon story. In the pilot, she is one of the antagonists posing a threat to the protagonists, Uzi and N. In Heartbeat, she pretty much does nothing, not an antagonist and not a supporting character either, just kinda there, chained up. In The Promenade, she definitely plays a bigger role. For those who somehow didn't notice that Doll was gonna be the antagonist for this episode, you would have likely assumed it was gonna be V, just by her plan to massacre the prom. And it's safe to say that if Doll wasn't the antagonist of this episode, it would have definitely been V. But instead, Doll makes V the victim, and eventually V just travels with the rest of the gang for the rest of the short time left in the episode. Cabin Fever is probably her biggest role out of all the episodes. Is she an antagonist? I have no idea. I remember when I was playing a video game in my Discord servers, VC, some of the fellows there were chatting about the antagonists of each episode, but when they got to episode 4, they actually had to have a debate over whether it was Uzi, the crazy emo girl who goes on a rampage and kills her classmates, or V, who is the one who ticked Uzi off in the first place and tried to kill our main character. I know it might seem obvious to you who the antagonist for this episode is, but to me, I don't really know. I can't pick a side. But back on topic, N and V were probably told by Uzi to be camp leaders to distract the students who the teacher made come for some reason? I don't know. And then V not only irritates Uzi, but irritates her twice, and Uzi takes it like an absolute champ, honestly, because usually Uzi snaps immediately at stuff like this. Maybe she's just gotten used to V's remarks, but, like, I don't know. Because my sister said that if she was Uzi and V said that to her, she would get emotional. But this is about V, not Uzi. V tries to tell N that they need to dispose of Uzi because she knows more than what N knows. But N just ignores her and cares about Uzi, which is all he ever does, which probably broke V's heart more than you'd expect. She then shows up again protecting Lizzie, which is huge to me that she's protecting a worker drone despite claiming that she's just trying to kill Uzi, but whatever. V and Uzi then battle, and if it weren't for N, V probably would have died back in episode 4. But then N victim blames V and gives Uzi therapy, and V is once again heartbroken by N's actions towards Uzi, and yet
I still feel nothing.
And yet she ends up taking the blame for Uzi, like, yes, girl slay. And since I'm talking about the canon story, we are skipping intermission, but we will come back to it later, because that's the literal main event of this video. In episode 5, Home, was probably V's worst episode because she was barely ever herself in the episode. Sure, we got lore as to why she was brought flashbacks by seeing Solver Uzi, but episode 5 was supposed to be N and V's episode, and I say this mainly as an NX Uzi shipper, but we didn't get enough NX V. I mean, like, honestly, I like both ships. They're both beautiful. NX Uzi in the present, NX V in the manor or past, but y'all already know that I don't like episode 5, so I'm just gonna stop yapping about it more than I need to. Anyways, in episode 6, Dead End, V still pretty much did nothing at all till near the end, where she saved Uzi and even told Tessa that they needed to leave to keep Uzi safe, and then saving the whole gang at the end of the episode by sacrificing herself when it really wasn't necessary. Sure, it added tension and angst and had us dying to know what happens in episode 7, but V could have easily escaped, so like, why? Assuming she died, but I'm pretty sure she's gonna show up in episode 8, so. And she wasn't even in episode 7, holograms or flashbacks don't count. So time to talk about intermission. So first off, V acts like how V acts. Oh wow, this is going so well. Okay. V keeps her toxic personality, but still being a cool sort of friend, you know? But as soon as the solver comes out, she knows what must be done, and N is just insistent on trying to help Uzi, so the fact V actually took charge for once was a big W instead of letting N stop her. And N actually agrees for once, and we get this epic fight scene with new solver powers. And what's shocking is that N actually listens to V and shoots Uzi, and I don't know if that scene where he shoots her head off was a reference to the pilot or not, but I like to believe it is. I can see exactly why V wanted to just kill off Uzi even if she turned back to normal, but if I was V, I would have just chained up Uzi like what they did to V in episode 2 and 3, so she can't hurt anyone, but we can still figure out how to fix her, although V believes there's no way to heal Uzi at all. Ha! That's what you thought. Oh, never mind. Okay, I just got destroyed as soon as I was introduced. Wow. I just love how V does things her way and doesn't let N get in her way. Almost being a yandere pretty much and hunting Uzi, which gives V more character instead of her just existing and saying something here and there every few minutes. The scene where she is creepily hunting down Uzi is my favorite, seeing her past self in Uzi right as she's about to kill her. And in this scene, V actually feels like a character. Like she has an actual heart instead of being used as some doll to make fans sad at the end of episode 6. I mean, yeah, I have no idea what V could have done in episode 7 if she didn't sacrifice herself. She's pretty much just an accessory to the show. They would promote V when Murder Drones first released, but then after a few episodes, everyone loved N. And now N is the main mascot of Murder Drones when it should have honestly been Uzi in my opinion, but whatever. But Intermission actually gave V what she needed. I'm pretty sure Yaxter said this in the previous video, but V having a big episode like this and then not doing anything for the next 2 episodes makes a little more sense when she sacrifices herself, and it actually hurts because N and Uzi know what V was going through, and we know it too. I'm sure she'll come back in episode 8 because it's heavily obvious, but Intermission, I believe, made V the character she was supposed to be. Not just some classic Liam Vickers psycho girl, but someone like this. Yes, I will not forgive V for her murderous actions, just like every other Murder Jones character. Then again, it is in the name. But V did have a choice to stop killing because I don't think they really need Oil to live anymore. She could have just been like N and stopped, but no, she didn't. But overall, even before Intermission, if you dive into V's lore, you can see the personality they chose for V in Intermission makes sense. It took me over a year to realize how sad it was for V in episode 7. It's just kind of tragic that N would choose this angsty teen who is kind of manipulative with him sometimes over the girl that he used to be in love with in both lives. I get that as we grow older, we may not love the same people like we used to back in the day, but alas, I'm sure if and when V comes back that they'll just be friends, but preferably I'm kind of craving angst with V and N about the love stuff, but I don't think Murder Jones would do that, so whatever. I think I've yapped enough, so quick summary of what I just said. Intermission made V feel like an actual character and made her better than she is in the actual show, and NXV is so angsty. So yeah, I love Murder Drones despite it missing this golden episode, but let's all admit it, all shows have flaws. Alright, I think that's all I had to say. Bye-bye!